Okay, if you haven't guessed, I am doing my SWOT analysis on the Metropolitan Opera. We are here at Le Chez Miguel, otherwise known as my house. I'm being quite crazy. I love the Metropolitan Opera. I really don't want to tear it down. We have a special guest with us today. Say hello to Sasha. Sasha, say hi.
Hi.
That's Sasha.
Hi, baby.
Yeah, you're a baby. So, hopefully she won't interrupt us too much. So, hi. Hi. We're gonna go eat. So, the Metropolitan Opera has many strengths. The fact of it being classical music, classically based, having all this great repertoire, like La Boheme, Madame Butterfly, La Tarantella, you name it, they've got it. So anyway, they have these strengths to bring classical music into the communities with their live theater and arts programming for children and young people. They have, since 2006, they have actually been able to increase their house value because of the programs they've integrated, like the live programs. The issue and weakness I have seen from the weaknesses is the fact of the teenagers and tweens. Yeah, I said that. And by the way, the reason I didn't sing that is because I'd have to practice. So, teenager, yeah. Teenagers are, or junior high to high-ish level, are the ones that they're, having a tough time bringing in because they, A, either don't understand it, B, they can't relate to it, or C, have some misconstrued idea. My husband, being a music teacher, he teaches one of his classes is an opera, and that is like the first time. And this is on Long Island. We're not that far away. We're a train ride away from New York City. Literally a train ride. Maybe an hour at the most. It's probably the most expensive part of the trip. It's the train ride. But still, a train ride. An hour from the city. The first time they have ever seen an opera. And we're talking about the PBS access that we have. Yeah, I don't know what is, why it goes on. It's demographical issues, interest, the IDMs. I got mine, by the way. I don't know. If you think about it, in the teenage sense, it's got love triangles, murder, suicide, and everybody gets to live. Very rare. So, they have these things, these little components that are in there. I think from the teenage mind, they see it as, it's not in English, it's not in my language, it's not today's date, it's not modernized enough. And I don't mean by the costumes. Yeah, seen those costumes. Don't work. So, here's the theory, so that is their weakness. Bringing those tween kids in and understanding the opera and how it works and how it relates to them. Because as an adult, I can see how it can relate into my real world because I have that, I have the capability of doing that. As a small child, we don't care. We just like the music. We want to listen to it. So they're pretty good with the younger young under 6th grade kids because they get it. Older, over like 18, 21, they appreciate it or they love it. That's it. Nobody really technically hates the opera. You appreciate things. Hate's a very strong word, as my mother would say. So that is their weakness. Their opportunities are limitless. Absolutely limitless. The opportunity that they can take from this is trying to bring the teenage groups in. Get their perspective. Have interviews with them. Get their perspective of how the opera should look to them. Come on, they watch Glee. If you're watching Glee, Dancing with the Stars, The Voice, things like that, you could sit through an opera. Trust me. Especially La Boheme or La Traviata or Carmen. You could sit through those. Madame Butterfly might have to be updated into today's era of thought of, because that was based in 1940s, where World War II is going on, and not too many kids relate to that nowadays. I mean, we can understand it, but we don't get the bias of that story of why that man could not marry Coco Butterfly. We're like, what? Why couldn't he marry her? We don't get that. Modernize it into today's biases. I think you really want to promote bias, but there it is. It's there. Another opportunity they have is, we can think La Boheme, which is, Moulin Rouge. Same story. Woman dying through practically 3 hours of opera. And does not die until 3 hours later of tuberculosis. There you go. Not that, many people have tuberculosis, but you can still do the same concept because people don't understand sickness, disease, cancer, things like that. You can work off those ideas into the teenage mind because they understand that and bring it more to their value. Modern day clothing, with the kid, put them in what the kids are quote unquote wearing. Maybe not so. Anyway, I didn't say anything. But modern day clothing instead of period clothing. Even my husband and I just watched The Merry Widow. It is done in English. That's the other thing. They can turn these operas and make them into English language operas. Yeah, you think to yourself, oh my god. No. The reason why operas were written in Italian is because that's who was paying the most money. Is the Italians, the church. They were paying the most money. It wasn't until Mozart, who started writing operas in his own language, that's how we got the Germans. We got the French, but because of the same reason. Now, the opportunity scene here, and I'll take a little example right here. My husband and I went to just see The Merry Widow with Renee Fleming. Okay, the production was, in my opinion, a little too musical, but they used a producer who was musical. But you know who was filling that audience? Yeah, teenagers. That is a great idea. That opportunity right there, that was a great concept. My husband's like, do you know anything about it? He had never heard the story before. I'm like, think Hello Dolly. He got it right away. He got the concept. He was like, oh, okay, I got it. Boom. You could tell somebody like him that. You'd have to tell somebody else, matchmaker. Just think somebody who's, very wealthy, Molly Brown, somebody they can relate to. Kardashians, whatever. And these people are fawning over her. But it is done in period style because we have a period style theme, which is mock scenes in the thing. But we can still modernize that. Does it have to be mock scenes? No, it does not have to be mock scenes that we go to, but it's perioded into that era of the 1900s. That is a period theme, but it can still be updated. My brain would have to work a little more on that one. Another perfect example is La Tarantola. That is Cinderella. And Cinderella's been done in more ways than I think you can slice a piece of bread, but there you are. You can, these are the stories you can take, and these are the opportunities they have to draw out from the teenagers and to make it into English. Which has been done by, the magic flute or the Dazuba flute. Of course, my husband's going to make fun of me when he sees this because he's going to know I botched that like crazy. Hansel and Gretel, or Hansel and Gretel, or something like that. Anyway, he's so going to kill me that I'm saying this wrong. Anyway. Oh, by the way, never marry a man who is in musical fields unless you really love him. So, these are the opportunities they have. What are their threats? I just said it. Popular music, culture, and demographical issues. Of people just not thinking they have the accessibility to get there, to incorporate this, or even understand it, because some people don't even understand, the music themselves. So, the threat is, and the biggest threat to this is actually community theater. Funny enough, community theater. Musical somewhat, because, but a musical sets the stage for an opera. It's a stepping stone. If used properly, a musical is a stepping stone to an opera. You have to know how to, you have to know how to set it up. It's like the first stage of bringing a child or a young person who's never been exposed to this culturally. My kids have, because I watch way too much PBS, and they watch way too much Phineas and Ferb. There you go. But you can modernize this. The threats also being, we don't get out much as we used to as a culture. We don't go to the theater as much as a culture. Is it sad? Yeah. But, now on your PlayStation, you can actually stream the opera or your this knowledge into your PlayStation, your Xbox, oh god, what the hell else is that? Whatever. Into this. And there's actually, my daughter's about to play music here. Oh, okay, fine. Came out PlayStation or Sony, I'm not sure what the company was, Rock Band. Why not make it into something, and you could turn that, and you can put an operatic piece of music in there with Rock Band, and do it that way. Get your kids exposed that way. So, by the way, that's another opportunity. Like I said, I do go all over the place a little bit. These are the threats, and, that's a problem. But they can also, every threat is an opportunity. You can see it as an opportunity and make it into something better. And utilize that betterness and see how it should be done. Like I said, since 2006, their seating values have gone up because they revamped it so much. But now they got to bring these teenagers in. So, hopefully they'll do, maybe they'll actually take my piece of advice and actually think about these things. And, hey, next thing you know, the next new opera is going to be about vampires and what else is there? I don't know. I don't have teenagers yet. I'm very scared. But I do hear my husband. Oh, I got it. SWAT. Or is it Black Ops? Black Ops the opera. I can see that guy. No. Anyway, I'm cracking myself up here. So, anyway. The last thing I want to leave you off with is because you always, you ask somebody, to sing it. And I know we've discussed before that I know how to sing. I'm going to leave you off with a song now. God bless me. I haven't practiced in a while, and I usually sing to patients who, I do have a nice voice, but I'm singing to patients who couldn't care less whether or not I'm on pitch or not. My husband will generally tell me, it's this note, not that one. I'm like, so anyhow, this is a song called The Silver Swan. You can look it up on YouTube. It is a minstrel or magical, whatever. I can't remember now. Forgive me. And it's done in 4/part harmony. I sang this 100 years ago, but this is a song I usually sing for my patients who are really, really sick. To explain this further. And they do appreciate this song, but I think it sums up perfectly the opera and the point of view of the opera of my daughter's trashing the house. So hopefully you can hear that. So anyway, here it goes, God forbid. Oh, she's got into nails. Hold on. Hey! Alright. Oh, no. Forgive me. So, eat. No. We're having a moment. Okay, so here we are with The Silver Swan. I think it's done by Orlando, somebody or another, and I can't remember his name. Forgive me. The silver swan, while living, had no note. When death approached, unlocked her silent throat, leaning her breast against the reedy shore. Now sang her first, then last, then sang no more. Farewell, all joys of death, come and close mine eyes. More geese than swans now live, more fools than wise. I probably hit 7 different octaves on that one, but it's the best I can do right now. So thank you for listening. God help you. May that sounded pretty decent. Good night, or good day.